Hi, and welcome back to FragVision. So far in this series we've looked at the role of high-frequency trading and the impact of the merger mania that's been going through the exchange space of late. Well, today we're going to be looking at the role of the buy side. How does the investment management community navigate the new fragmented liquidity that's emerged in the wake of Reg NMS and MiFID here in Europe? And on top of this, how do they understand the execution quality they're getting from their brokers, particularly when some of these brokers own or operate some of the platforms concerned? Let's find out some more. So I'm here with Robin Strong, who's Director of Strategy for the Fidessa Buy-Side Business Unit. Hey, Robin.
Morning.
Well, you know, one of the things I was thinking about is obviously here in Europe, you've got particular pressure with MiFID because it puts both the buy side and the sell side on the hook in terms of actually demonstrating the quality and that they are getting best execution for their customers. Now, you're obviously talking to that buy-side community. What sort of things are you picking up in this regard?
That's right. I think there's definitely a couple of points that are consistent across all of our customers. So one of these is that because of the fragmented markets, it's much harder for them to assess pre-trade where and how to best execute across the different MiFID venues. And then obviously what the sell-side brokers have implemented is smart order routers, trading algorithms, various things that will break up one institutional size order into lots of little individual pieces that maybe get executed on different markets at different prices. And what the buy side has to do is really reassemble all of those executions back to be able to report on a trade-for-trade basis. Exactly, on a post-trade basis, to report back trade for trade that they've met the best execution requirements that they've received. One of the challenges of that, though, is that each of these venues reports these trades differently. They use different trade codes, they report them to different venues, and so you have to, reassembling that is actually a very difficult process.
So it's a very real problem for the buy-side guys that you're talking to then.
Correct. It's a problem faced by every single one of our clients. In fact, I can probably give you an example to show you just how complicated it is. I had a conversation with one of our buy-side clients just the other day. This particular customer was a large buyer of Glencore a few days ago. They were in the market, you can see in this example, from 8.45 to 10.55 with an order of 250,000 shares, which represented about 12% of the market at that time.
So non-trivial then?
Non-trivial,
right.
Large player in the market would obviously have significant market impact. If we scroll down to the bottom, what you can see is that their execution price was actually very close to the VWAP on the London Stock Exchange, which might have been considered a reasonable benchmark in the past. But what you can see is there's 6 other different venues that reported trades in Glencore during that window when he was in the market. And a couple of those venues in particular would have offered sizable price improvement. But if you look at the analysis, what you can see is they would only have comprised 20% of the total size of his order. Nonetheless, a best execution would have involved picking up these different bits of liquidity.
So I had to make sure my broker's connected to these.
So you need to understand very much what your broker does to execute orders, which dark and lit venues they go to, how their smart order routers are configured in order to fulfill their requirements to you, and in order for you to then be able to report back to your clients.
Okay. So, but of course there are a number of initiatives underway within ESMA for a European consolidated tape. What do you think about those?
Yeah, I think you highlighted the challenge. There's a number of initiatives underway. So there's more than one stream, some of which overlap and some don't. Some of which have different participants involved in them with different agendas, and obviously they're all underway. None of these have really been finalised yet.
And of course everyone has a different agenda. The buy side wants a consolidated view to prove best X, the sell side wants a consolidated tape to reduce their market data costs. The MTFs want one so that people will trade on them when the main market's down. So there's, everyone's got a slightly different vested interest in the whole thing.
That's absolutely right, and a key objective of MiFID was to promote transparency. In many ways, the waters are actually muddier than they were previously.
Well, it looks like it's going to take a while before it all gets sorted out. But good to chat with you, Robin, and nice bit of kit, by the way.
Thanks.
So what we've seen is just how important a consolidated view of the post-trade landscape is, especially to the buy side. Now, the very latest from the regulators here in Europe is that they're going to try and impose some US-style MBBO consolidated tape. Now, obviously one of the things with that is it's going to have to navigate a whole bunch of Euro politics, and of course we're going to have to work out exactly who and how it's going to get paid for. So in the meantime, everyone's going to have to depend upon the very best technology they can get their hands on.
Where's my iPad?